The gas meter is located on the east side of the garage, but that's not why we're here. And I haven't seen any bonding yet. This is the clothes dryer exhaust vent. It's clogged. It's holding these guys up. Alright. But that's not why we're here. This is all about the electrical. Okay, the grounding rod, we're on the east side of the garage. And the grounding rod has not been properly buried. Those are 8-foot rods. It's supposed to be buried 8 feet. An electrician can come measure the continuity on that, should he choose to, and prove to the code inspector that that's fine. That's what happened at my house. I wasn't here when that happened. All I know is that that 8-foot rod is not buried 8 feet. If it is even an 8-foot rod. I've seen them cut them off too. The electric meter, it should be sealed on 3 sides, on the sides and the top, to help prevent moisture from getting into the system. Now we're going to come around here. Moving around, coming into the garage. We're just going to focus on the floor for this one. The tenant tells me this panel was installed yesterday. Green tag? We don't need no green tag. We don't need no stinking codes. This is it. This is the panel board. It's 200 amps. The circuit breakers are not labeled. We don't know what breaker goes to what. We're left. Okay. By deduction. 30 and 30. Okay. Condensing units are probably fused right. These are called instructions right here. And these instructions do not indicate that this panel board is rated to accept stackable breakers. Some people call them cheaters. You see these breakers right here? It's 2 circuit breakers formed into one slot. 2 circuit breakers formed into one slot. Stackable breakers. Some people call them cheaters. And this cabinet is not rated for that. It's the wrong size breakers. The bonding location is bonded on the cold water of the water heater, but the bonding location is not labeled in here. It's supposed to be labeled so that if you have a really crowded garage, like this one for example, if that was the case, then you know, the electrician would have a clue about where to go looking. I mean, I found it. I'm sure an electrician can find it, but it's supposed to be labeled in here and it's not. We have one, yikes, we have one ground, okay? That grounding rod that wasn't properly buried I just showed you, that's the only ground. We have the bonding up here. One bond. Where are you? I could have swore I saw it. But we do have a bond that's coming off of somewhere there. There's it. No? It's a double lug ground. There's our bond right there. That goes to the water heater. We do not have 2 grounds within 6 feet of each other. Don't have that. This cabinet was screwed into place. Screws are faster and tighter. I get that. Let's go to the beer store, Philip. Okay, Doug. Man, you're fast. I know. I'm getting a raise next week. But screws do not have the same shear strength that nails do. So if this structure was to experience a tornado, for example, and it blows up your garage, you've already got a bad day, and we all get that. But if this cabinet had been nailed into place instead of screwed into place, then it would have a better chance of staying in position, or a reasonable position, or safer during an event such as that. So it's 200 amps, it's copper to copper, main neutral is wrapped with white tape, that's fine. And then we got bundling. They had a perfect opportunity. They replaced this whole cabinet. They had a perfect opportunity. See these? See that knockout? That's for L1 and L2. We didn't know where L1 and L2 is going to come in, so we have them around here. See all these small ones? You're only supposed to bring 2 cables in at a time. Okay? It's called the skin effect. I'm supposed to bring 2 cables at a time. It's very common. I see it in a lot of homes. Alright? I don't like to discount or apologize for my work, but since they had the cabinet out, there's no reason in the world why they couldn't have, since they took this much out, there's no reason in the world why they couldn't have laced it up right going through these smaller ones with connectors. They just didn't do it. And sometimes I just, it's an older home. I say, what do you want to do? How do you want to go through all that? But they just replaced the panel yesterday, the cabinet, the load center. Call it what you will. Yesterday. No green tag. We don't need no stinking codes. And then I get it. The electrician, he's interested in this cabinet. All he wants is to get this right. Even though he didn't. Okay, all he wants to do is get this right. He doesn't care about gypsum board, sheetrock, drywall, call it what you will. And they would have had to take it out. But they already took it out down here, so you would take it out up here, and they could have laced it all up just fine. By taking this out like this, though, now we have a gap that's wider than 1/8 of an inch between the wall and the cabinet. So this should all be sealed in so that you don't have 1/8 of an inch gap. And man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you want to deal with it. I don't know how you want to take that conversation. Okay, so what do we learn? Grounding rod's not buried. We only have a single ground. We learned that we got bundling, even though it could have been corrected yesterday. And bundling doesn't even have a connector on it. Okay, we learned that we got stackable breakers and the cabinet's not rated for that. We learned that the cabinet was screwed into place. We also know that we don't know what any of these breakers go to. Have no idea what these breakers go to. I'm not seeing any arc fault when this home was built. Arc fault might not have been required. But you put a brand new cabinet in this, and this should have been brought up to current code. I'm just saying, so we don't have any arc fault either.